Hey everyone, this is Brandy with Brandy Reads. We're going to try something new today. I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but we'll see. I haven't done a video in a while. My cameraman, aka husband, and I can't seem to get our schedules together where we can actually do a recording right now. He has been so busy and I have been so busy, so I'm going to try to do this on my own today. So I'm doing it from my phone and holding it because he's got the tripod thing. That's what it's called. He has that, so it might be a little shaky. We'll see. Not done it from my phone other than to do the package opening that I've done a couple of times. So hopefully this will work out somewhat. Okay. Guess we'll find out. And I am hanging out in the window of my store, so waiting on some customers and had some time to kill, so thought we'd give this a try. Today's book review will be on Kingsbane. Kingsbane is the second book in the Empirium Trilogy by Clair Legrand. Furyborn was the first one and I absolutely loved it. Kingsbane did not disappoint. I absolutely loved it as well. So spoiler alert, if you didn't read Furyborn, do not continue to watch this video because there will be some spoilers on Furyborn in this video. Go back, stop here, go back, go watch my video on Furyborn, then go read the book, then come back, watch this one, and then read this one. This one doesn't come out until May anyway, so you've got some time, so you'll be caught up. This one comes out May 21st, I think. Again, I don't have my ARC with me, so I can't remember the exact release date, but I think it's May 21st. So let's just jump right in. Kingsbane was absolutely fantastic. I loved it just as much as I did Furyborn. I feel like there's a little more, not really detail, but a lot more almost information packing in this one. I feel like the third one is going to be like this really big finale, I guess would be the best way to call it. So I feel like there was a lot. The first book was action packed and just drag you into the story and grab a hold of you and didn't turn you loose, and it was great. This one is just as action packed and grab a hold of you and don't turn you loose, but there's also some finer, I guess, detail points, information put in there that I feel like is going to be important in the third one. It's really a build up, and it did a pretty good job of building that up. I said it with the first one and I'll say it with this one. Claire has really cemented herself into the fantasy realm with this. Again, her story building and her character building and her world building are just spot on. You are there. You can see what they're seeing. You feel what they're feeling. You hear what they're hearing. You are right there with these characters, and you really get to know these characters. We got to know them a good bit in the first, and so you continue to grow with their characters and see how their characters develop. This Rielle, she wasn't my favorite character in the first book. And it wasn't that she was a bad character, it just because we know how she ends and how Eliana began, and there were tidbits thrown in suggesting how horribly things really did end prior to that snippet we see in the very beginning, that I just wasn't in love with her character. I was drawn more toward Eliana's character. Rielle is really, I guess, well developed in this book. You really find yourself, or I did anyways, I found myself just rooting for her, because in the end she is a 19-year-old girl who is thrown into this world of magic and plot, more or less. I mean, just like everybody wants her wants her powers. She's held to such standards that, I mean, it's just, they're unrealistic for anyone, much less a 19-year-old girl, and everyone seems to forget that she is just a 19-year-old girl struggling to survive and make it in this world, find her place. She loves Aldrich. She is torn by Corin's whispers of freedom and you can use your powers as you wish and no more restraints and restrictions. And the gate is falling and she's the only one that can save it, but no one will give her the chance to save it. And it's just, it's this struggle for her to know where she is and how she can be. And is she really good enough for Aldrich? As much as she loves him, is she good enough for him? That's a huge fear for her. Is she good enough to be the Sun Queen that she has been crowned? That's another fear for her. And it's just, she's any normal teenage girl with hopes and dreams and fears. And they don't always line up, and no one is seeing that she's struggling to really find her place, to fit in and know where she fits in. So it's this struggle for her, and I really felt sorry for her, and that really came through for me in this book. Eliana, I still love her character. She's still a great character and a strong character in what she's gone through in her life, and the how she's become this strong woman in her world where she's at, and then dealing with the train. I'm sure y'all can hear it. The train. Okay. Maybe I can stop having to talk over it now. So, maybe not. I love the train. I can actually see the train tracks and the train go by from where I'm sitting. And it is very nostalgic for me, and I love it. It's just not very helpful when I'm trying to record a video. Because, trying to talk over that horn is a little difficult. Okay, so maybe it's gone now. Again, Eliana's character in this book is I still love her. She's still great. She's still finding herself. She has found out that she is the daughter of Rielle. She is the Sun Queen that everybody has been waiting for. Her coping with that, her learning to deal with that has been her struggle this book. That she found out right at the end of the last book, and I say found out because she didn't believe it throughout the first book. She's really discovering who she is throughout this book and how her powers work. Her fear of her powers, her fear of becoming another Rielle, is hindering her powers, is hindering her developing them, her honing them, her getting to be better at using them, her skills, I guess, and calling them forth and using them. Her fear is just keeping them unpredictable and dangerous in this novel, and you really can feel that. You really can feel this struggle within her of how do I do this and not become my mother? How do I do this and not let it destroy me? You really feel that sense of tension for her, but at the same time you're screaming at her, just let go, just do it, just listen and feel it, because you've got this. It's definitely, I mean, they're both struggling in this novel, and you're just wanting both of them to really find themselves. I think the sad part for me was, as much as I'm pulling for Rielle to really find herself, become the woman she wants to become, knowing that there's going to be a fall at the end, whether she, just jumps into this ending head first, or if it's just this gradual downward spiral, is I guess, difficult to see. I mean, because you're rooting for her. You really are. You really feel her struggling. You're just like, come on, you can do this. And no one understands what she's struggling with and what she's fighting against. Except us, because we're reading it. But, like, in her world, no one else gets it. No one else sees it. No one else can hear Corin. Or the power that he holds, I guess, over, and not really over her, but what he represents, I think, to her. He is this scandalous unknown. He is this, oh my gosh, it's just, it's almost like a forbidden love affair, you know, like, ooh, I can hear him, he wants me, he's talking to me, but I love Aldrich, and I want to be here with him, but Corin, he understands me, he gets me, he knows all my secrets, but he's using them against her. And she, as strong as she is, and as much as she gets that, she also is kind of lured in by that, just that, the secrecy and the suspense of it. It's this torrid love affair that can't be, but what could it be? It's definitely a source of tension for her. And Eliana is, again, not only fighting her powers, but fighting Simon as well. And not physically fighting him, but emotionally, mentally, verbally fighting him, not wanting to do the things that he's wanting her to do, the places he's wanting her to go, the people he's wanting her to meet, the things he's wanting her to do to save the world, the things he says she has to do as Sun Queen to save the world. She's still denying that she's the Sun Queen. Yes, she has powers, and yes, she can do these things, and she's learning to use her powers, but at the same time fearing them, so she's not really putting as much effort into learning to use them as she should be. It's just a struggle for her in this novel, and you really feel that. You feel this struggle she's going through, and you feel her fear of, oh my gosh, what if I let this go and I can't bring it back in? Oh my gosh, you know, what if I become my mother? What if I destroy the world instead of saving it? What if I make it worse than it already is? Yeah, it's just this fear in her. And while you get it, you're still rooting for her. You're still just trust yourself and turn loose. It's definitely a difficult thing to watch, I think. She does start trusting Simon a little more, and she thinks she's figured out a way how to control her powers more easily, I guess would be the way to put it. She, again, because of her fear, it leaves her powers unpredictable and very dangerous. Her search to figure out how to control them, she devises a plan, and it works, and it works well. But my opinion on it is she's handicapping herself. She's limiting her abilities. I may be wrong. That's just how I see it. That's how I feel like it's going to be in the end. But it is working for her, and it is helping her control them, and she does start to trust them more, which is the ultimate goal. You know, at the end of Furyborn, she sank the Imperial ships. The story of that occurrence, the storm that she conjured that sank them all and saved more or less this country that she's fleeing to, that story is spreading. So there are people from both sides, the angels and the Emperor, are hearing these stories, and they're searching for her. Just everyone else, all of the humans that are fighting against the angels, are looking for her. Everybody is looking for her. Those that want to follow her and those that want to control her powers, they're all looking for her. So in this struggle of not wanting to become another Rielle and fearing her powers, there's also this, who do I trust and how do I trust them and how do I know I can trust them? thing going on. There's a point in the story where they make a decision that seems like a really good decision, and then it's not. But nobody knows it's not a good decision until the end. And then you're like, oh my gosh, really? So it's just this shock. I really was not prepared for this. I am really good at figuring out plot lines and what's coming next, and I was not ready for that. I really had convinced myself that this worked, that the decision they had made was one that was going to help them in the long run. I was completely taken off guard by the end, by how this ended and what happened, because I was not ready for that. It was shocking. And so definitely have to wait for the third one to get how this plays out. But I wasn't ready for that. So I will tell you to kind of be prepared that there will be a shock and a twist, and you're probably not going to know what it is or what's coming up until it gets there, but just know that there is one coming. I do love watching Simon and Eliana's relationship grow, and in some ways it grows how you think it should or how you would want it to, and then in other ways it's not what you think it should be or what you want it to be. I think it's a continuing thing. I don't think we've seen the end of that. I don't think we've come to the full conclusion of that either. I'm definitely excited to see the third novel and really get the finishing of this story, the conclusion. I hope that I, can be pleased with how it ends and think I know how it's going to end, but at the same time, I'm sure, since I got caught with this twist, that I'm sure she'll catch me with another one somewhere. But I was pleasantly surprised, I'll say that, because usually for me, guessing and knowing how something's going to end, I still read it, and it doesn't take away from getting to the ending and seeing how everything falls into place, but it still, you don't get surprised as often. So this surprise, it was even though I wasn't ready for it, and even though it wasn't really a good surprise, I was still excited that I was surprised that I hadn't guessed what was going to happen. That was a good change for me. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe and the bell below so you can get your notifications. Be sure to give us a thumbs up. We always like thumbs up. And leave us a comment if you feel like it is. If you love Furyborn, let us know what you loved about it. Try not to leave any spoilers in the comments on the Furyborn video. Maybe you could probably leave some in this video, because hopefully anybody reading these comments will have taken the time to go back and watch that video and read the book. I just don't want anybody to get like, oh no, surprises. Okay, so leave that at your discretion. I hope you enjoyed the video, and again, check out the Furyborn video if you haven't already. I think that's it. Everybody have a great day. Bye.